Well, Virginia was in the spotlight at the U.S. Supreme Court this morning. The issue this time were 11 House districts racially gerrymandered to downplay the impact of African-American voters. Tom Rousey was inside the High Court for this morning's arguments, and he is with us live now.
And, you know, being inside there and hearing the arguments of the justices, it was really tough to get a read on where they're leaning. Both liberal and conservative justices had very tough questions for both sides.
Being politicians picking their voters as opposed to voters picking their politicians is the main issue with the entire subject.
Dozens of people waited hours in the morning cold for a Virginia case some hope will strike a blow against gerrymandering.
They need to come up with, some standard mathematical way to do this using GIS or whatever and get the politicians out of it.
Last year, a federal court ruled lawmakers had packed too many African-American voters into 11 Virginia House of Delegates districts. That decision led to a new map that would benefit Democrats. Republicans argue the old districts were fine, and they point out they had bipartisan support and legislative Black Caucus support when they were passed.
I think we worked a lot directly with the Black Caucus members. I thought the map was, very, very thoughtful. They got pre-cleared by the Justice Department.
But after the arguments, the state's Democratic Attorney General Mark Herring talked about why he didn't support the Republicans as they took their case here.
And I felt that this is a case that should not be appealed because we should not have racially gerrymandered districts any longer.
And the arguments here started at 10 a.m. this morning. They ended just about an hour ago. Much of the time was actually spent arguing whether or not the Republicans from the Virginia House actually had the standing to argue this case here. As far as a decision on everything that they talked about today, well, we're not sure exactly when it's going to come, but it's not going to come today. And a lot of people will be eagerly anticipating what they ultimately decide here at the Supreme Court. Reporting live outside the Supreme Court, I'm Tom Rousey, ABC 7 News.